Hello, it's a good day. I welcome you all for today's discussion on design of combined footing. As per limit state design, we will be discussing the methodologies and procedures in order to design a combined footing. So let us design a combined footing. A combined footing for two reinforced concrete column using the following data. They have given the size of the column, that is 30 mm by 30 mm. You will be having two columns. Below that there will be a footing, and spacing of the two columns is 4 meter, that is center to center distance, and the load transmitted by each column is 500 kilonewton. The safe bearing capacity of soil is 150 kilonewton per meter square, and by getting the value of 150 kilonewton per meter square, you could identify that this may not be a rock. So it may be a sandy soil or a clayey soil. So you can get the idea from the value which you got as safe bearing capacity. First you should go for identifying the safe bearing capacity test, that may be standard penetration test. You have to conduct, and after conducting you will be getting the bearing capacity of the soil, so that you can find this value, then you can proceed the design. Generally for construction, if you need to construct, first what you have to do is you have to go for a soil testing. First plan and design, then we can construct. And the grade which is adopted here is M20 grade concrete and Fe415 grade steel. And from this the design starts. The ultimate stress carrying capacity of concrete, that is FCK, is 20 Newton per mm square, and Fy is 415 Newton per mm square. And next we have to find the total load. So we have two columns which is going to be resting on a ground by using the footing. Now you have to find the total load. So totally we are having two columns which carries 500 kilonewton load. So that is 2 into 500 is 1000, and self weight of the footing. So we are going to design another structure which is also going to carry some load, and it will transfer to the soil. Let us assume a 10% of the weight, that is from 1000 we are assuming 10%, we will have 100 kilonewton, and the total service load will be 1100 kilonewton. Next, so in this picture you can see the center to center distance between the column is 4 meter, and now we shall design the size of footing. So we need a overall length and the width. So let us identify the length and width of the footing. So in order to find that, you have to use this formula, that is safe bearing capacity equals load divided by area of footing. So which I have discussed in previous lecture. You can see that by using that formula you can cross multiply to find the area of footing. So area of footing equals load, that is total load coming through the column, that is 1100, and divided by safe bearing capacity of soil. So we got the value of 7.3 meter square. We need this much area of footing in order to distribute the load safely. Adopt a footing size of 6 by 1.5, that is overall length as 6 meter, in width direction as 1.5 meter. So 6 into 1.5 will be nearly 9 meter square. So area required here is 7.3 meter square, and area we have provided is 9 meter square. Also here adopt width of strap beam B equal to 400 mm. This is an assumption. So you will be having a purely a footing slab. So, in order to distribute the load to the slab evenly, we will be going for a strap beam. So, its width is assumed as 400 mm, that is the column size is 300 by 300. So, in order to take the column load, at least the strap beam should be even wider. So, it should have a width of more than 300 by 300 in order to safely distribute the load. Also, for the reinforcement arrangement, we need a higher width. So, here we have assumed 400 mm. And next is identifying the soil pressure. So, here what we have done is, see, this is the column. You are having a column which has a distance of 4 meter, and we have given a design size of footing as 6 meter by 1.5 meter length and width. Now, also we have provided a strap beam. This beam runs throughout the length of the footing and its dimension is 0.4 meter. Now, we shall find the soil pressure. So, if say for example, I am taking the cross section of this footing here, you can see the strap beam has 0.4 meter size and we are having a 1.5 meter width of the footing. Now, there will be a soil pressure. If we are having a load which is coming from the structure, definitely the soil will resist the load. So, you will be having a soil pressure below this. So, let us identify the amount of soil pressure created due to this load. So, the load coming from the column is 1000 and we have designed the area of the footing as 6 into 1.5. So, if you divide this, you will be getting soil pressure, that is 111 kilonewton per meter square here, which is below the safe bearing capacity of the soil. Note here that if the value goes beyond this, you have to increase the area of the footing. Here it is sufficient, which is less than safe bearing capacity, hence we can proceed. So, next thing is we have to find the bending moment. In the earlier lecture I have discussed, first we will identify the service load and we will next go towards the dimension and we will find bending moment, shear force, and for that given bending moment and shear force we will be proceeding with the next step called depth of the section. We will provide sufficient depth and after that we will be giving area of for your structure. So, area of reinforcement and several checks. So, either the required depth and area is sufficient. So, like that it will proceed. So, now we came here for identifying the bending moment and shear force and cantilever projection of a footing. When we are having a soil pressure below this, the soil tends to bend the structure. So, bend the footing. So, if it tries to bend, you can see that this is a cantilever kind of a section. One end is fixed and other end is free. Let us assume a single section and let us find the bending moment for the section. So, the other section is similar for a cantilever beam which is having a pressure. So, we have identified the soil pressure as 111 kilonewton per meter square. So, let us find the cantilever projection of the footing first. So, what is the projection here is 0.55. How you have identified 0.55? So, the total width is 1.5 and the half of the width is 0.75 from its center. You have to know that if you subtract a 0.2, that is half of the dimension of the strap beam. So, this is overall is 0.4, the half of the dimension will be 0.2. So, the remaining of 0.75 minus 0.2 is 0.55. So, this is the distance which is having a cantilever projection. Here 1.5 minus 0.4 for a total section you have to minus 0.4 and into 0.5, you will be getting a distance of 0.5. Either the way you can find the distance. Anyway, so the cantilever distance will be 0.55 meter. So you are having a cantilever beam which is having a distance of a span length of 0.55 meter. Now how to calculate the bending moment for a cantilever beam? That is WL square divided by 2. So this is the formula, and here W is the soil pressure, or you can take it as P. So P is the PL square by 2. The soil pressure is 111 into the distance is 0.55 square divided by 2, you will be having 16.79 kilonewton meter. After that, initially we have not found the factored load, hence after finding the bending moment we have included the factor of 1.5. Here you have to remember that for limit state of structure, Indian Standard Codes has given a guideline, you have to assume 1.5 into the moment. So while multiplying you will be getting 25.2 kilonewton meter, and we got the bending moment. Next step is finding the effective depth. In IS 4/6 you can find the minimum depth for a section is D equal to root of mu divided by 0.13k FCKB, where mu is known as the bending moment we have found now, that is 25.2. It is in terms of kilonewton meter. In order to convert into Newton mm, we can multiply into 10 power 6. So now all the values are in terms of Newton and mm. 0.138 is a constant, and FCK, the permissible compressive stress, 20 Newton per mm square, and breadth. Let us assume 1 meter width of a section. So you are having 6 meter, let us consider only 1 meter, and we can provide the same reinforcement for the remaining section. So we have assumed 1000 mm. So if you find the solution for this, you will be getting 95.5 mm. So this is the effective depth required for the section. Yes. Next, so let us check the depth for one-way shear first. For finding the depth for one-way shear, let us use this formula, that is tau c equal to Vu by Bd. So what do you mean by Vu is shear force. Vu is the shear force which is acting on the section. So this is section, you will be having a shear force, maximum shear force at the section here. First let us find the shear force, and B is the breadth and D is the depth. So depth we are checking here, hence we will keep the D as constant and tau c. Let us assume tau c as 0.28 Newton per mm square for M20 grade concrete. So this is a table which is available in IS 456 for identifying the design shear strength of a concrete. So if you want to find the tau c for a grade as well as the percentage of reinforcement, now we know the grade of the concrete. What is our grade? We have assumed M20 grade, and now we are assuming 0.28 Newton per mm square as our value, and the percentage of reinforcement that we have to provide is 0.15. So let us assume this 0.28 and proceed the problem. Now the unknown is Vu. We have to find the breadth, we can take it as 1000, and depth we have to find tau c we have assumed. Now we need Vu, that is shear force, to get the factored soil pressure. So 111 into 1.5, we will be getting the factored soil pressure, that is 166.5 kilonewton per meter square. So let us have this value. If you want to find Vu, you are having a soil pressure which we have found out the factored soil pressure as 166.5. So let us assume 1 meter width. So the width is 1 meter, and for a critical section, so we are finding the one way shear. So what is the distance for one way shear is D from the face of the column. So you are having a strap beam here. From this, a distance of D will be the place where you have one way shear. You have to refer the previous lecture for getting a detailed explanation. So at this depth, let us find the shear force. So we already know that the cantilever projection has 0.55 meter value, and for a critical section, that is for one way shear, let us consider a distance of D from 0.55 meter from the face of the column. So that is why 550 is the value which is having cantilever projection in terms of mm minus D. Let us subtract and find the shear force at this particular point. You are having a force of 166.5 kilonewton per meter square. In terms of Newton per mm square, we are substituting is 0.1665. So we will be getting the shear force at this section. So right now we are having the equation for shear force. Let us apply here in Vu. So we already got the Vu force here. Let us apply the same value divided by B into D. So B here will be 1000 mm into D. So the only unknown is D here. So 0.28 we have assumed. So let us find the D. By solving this, you will be getting the value of D is 205 mm. So earlier you got a depth of value. See here we got a value of 95.5 mm. Right now for checking the critical section at the distance of D, for one way shear we got even a higher value of 205 mm. So let us provide the higher value for the design. Right now we got the minimum value is 205, and we will be adopting a depth of 250 mm, and overall depth capital D equal to 300 mm. For this footing we have assumed 50 mm as cover, and the total depth will be 300 mm of the footing. Now after finding the depth, let us find the area of steel. How much area of steel is required for the footing? So we will be using mu equal to 0.87 Fy AST T 1 minus AST Fy divided by FCK PD. Here we got the moment as 25.2 into 10 power 6. Why this 10 power 6? We are substituting everything in terms of Newton per mm square or Newton mm. Equals 0.87. Fy is permissible stress in steel, that is 415, and AST which we have to find, D is the depth we have adopted, it is 250, and A 1 minus 415 AST divided by B will be 1 meter width assumption, that is 1000 mm into D is 250 and FCK is 20. So by solving this we will be getting the area of steel requirement, that is 285 mm square. And let us check the minimum reinforcement. In Indian Standard Code we are having a class where whatever may be the section we design, we should have a minimum reinforcement condition, that is 0.12 percentage of BD, that is capital D. So let us check for that. 0.12 percentage, we will be dividing that by 100, we will be getting 0.0012 into B is 1000 mm and D is overall depth, it is 300. So if you calculate this, we will be getting 360 mm square. Right now, the area of steel required for bending moment is 285 and the minimum reinforcement for a section is 360 mm square. So, if we compare this, the minimum reinforcement is higher, hence we have to go for the higher area of reinforcement. So, let us assume 360 mm square is required and let us provide 10 mm dia bar at 200 mm center to center. We will be having nearly a AST of 393 and the distribution bar. So, for a footing design, you have to go for main reinforcement in a direction and distribution reinforcement in a direction. So, for main reinforcement we have calculated, for distributors that is 0.12 percentage of cross section, hence provide the same 10 mm dia bar at 200 mm center to center. So, in both the ways we have provided the same bar and same distance. So, let us check. So, now the design is, footing design is over, footing slab design. Let us check for that. So, whatever the section we have assumed, either it is safe. In order to check, let us find the shear stress at a equal distance of effective depth. That is, for one way shear, let us check for the design. So, first we are finding the VU. So, what is the formula? That is, for checking the shear stress at critical section, tau V equal to VU by PD. First we have to find the VU. What is VU? At the critical section of D from the face of the column. So, what the depth we have provided is D is 0.25, that is 250 mm we have provided the depth. Hence, we are subtracting the value of 0.25 into 111, that is into 1.5. Now, we got the exact shear stress, whatever the design we have done, for that the exact shear force is 49.95 kilonewton. Now, if you substitute the value, here everything is in terms of, this value in terms of kilonewton. So, 49.95 into 1000 divided by 1000 into 250. 1000 is B. So, B is breadth and D is depth. Depth we have provided is 250. If you find the value, you will be getting 0.2 Newton per mm square. So, this is the stress which is acting in the section. Let us check for concrete shear strength. For finding tau C, first we have to find 100 AST divided by BD. What is 100 is a constant, AST which we have provided is 393. We got 360 and we have provided 393. So, 393 is AST, B is 1000, D is 250. We got the value of 0.157. So, from the table, here you can see this, you have to check from the table. For M20 grade of concrete, we got 100 AST BD is 0.157. So, let us take the first value of 0.15. So, we are having a 0.28 Newton per mm square. So, this is known as tau C. So, tau C value is 0.28 Newton per mm square. So, the permissible shear stress. So, another class is there, this is for a pure concrete. If you are designing for a pure concrete section, you can take this 0.28 value and you can proceed. So, if you are designing a reinforced concrete section, your section has reinforcement, what you have to do is you have to multiply a factor called K. So, this is the K factor, this is Ks. So, K for steel. If your section is 300, if your overall depth of the slab is more than 300, then you can take the K factor as 1. Now, we have the overall depth as 300. Effective depth is 250, overall depth is 300. Hence, we are taking K value as 1. So, 1 into 0.28 is 0.28 Newton per mm square. Hence, the concrete design shear strength is higher. Always tau C should be higher than tau V. Tau V, how much we got? We got 0.2. Tau V, the value is 0.2 Newton per mm square. And tau C is 0.28. So, tau C is higher. The shear stress are within safe and permissible limit. Now, next we shall go for a strap beam design. For designing a strap beam, first let us identify the service load on the beam. What is the service load? That is the soil pressure. In terms of footing, the load will be the soil. What is the soil beneath the footing will be the load. So, the soil pressure is 111. If you want to convert in terms of meter, you have to multiply by the width. What is the width? Width is 1.5. So, if you multiply 111 into 1.5, and another one is considering 1 meter of a section. So, you will be getting 166.5 kilonewton per meter. And for this, we have to find the factored load. So, whatever may be the load, we have to multiply it by 1.5 for load safety. If you multiply by that, you will be getting 250 kilonewton per meter. And this is the load which is acting on the beam. So, let us find the moment. See, now we are designing this strap beam. So, first we have designed the footing. The footing design is over. What we have done? We have provided 10 mm of rod which will be having 200 mm center to center, which is provided as main bar, also the distributor. For both the section, we have provided this AST. Now we are designing the strap beam. So, this is the beam which will run throughout the length of the footing. Why you need this footing strap beam? In order to distribute the column load evenly to the base of the footing, you need a strap beam for the overall length. Hence, we are designing the strap beam. Now, if we are starting this design, we are having the breadth of the strap beam as 400 mm, which we have already assumed. Now, we have to do is, we have to design the depth. What is the minimum depth required for the section and the area of reinforcement. So, let us proceed into the solution. We are having a center to center distance of 4000, that is 4 meter from this 2 column. You are having a soil load below that which is having 250. Right now we have found that the factored soil load as 250. Let us consider it as a simply supported beam. So, you are having a 2 column and a soil pressure below. Let us consider it as a simply supported beam. That is why we are considering WL square by 8. Hence, you can see that therefore, bending moment mu equal to WL square divided by 8. Either by 8 you can put or 0.125. So, the load will be 250 and the length will be 4 meter, which is center to center of the column. You will be getting a value of 499.5. And if you need shear force, the formula is WL by 2. Shear force which will be maximum at the support. So, W is 250 and L is 4 divided by 2, which will be 500 kilonewton. So, this is your bending moment and shear force. Now, let us assume a tau C. Tau C is design shear strength of the section as 1.2. Earlier, for design of footing, we have assumed 0.28. Now we are assuming 1.2. Why? Because it is a higher value. The section is heavier, hence we are assuming the higher value. By experience, you can get the clarity on this assumption. And if we assume tau c equal to 1.2 Newton per mm square, and let us substitute in this formula is tau c equal to Vu by Bd. So after cross multiplication, we got, if we need D, Vu here is 500, that is shear force 500 into 10 power 3 in terms of Newton, divided by breadth here is 400, and tau c what we have assumed is 1.2. Finally, we got 1042 mm. So the depth of the section is, effective depth required here is, let us assume a rounded value, that is 1150 mm as the effective depth, and the overall depth after providing 50 mm cover, the overall depth will be 1200. After assuming this, second step is finding the area of steel. We will be using the same equation. Mu here is 500 kilonewton meter. So in terms of Newton mm, multiplying by 10 power 6, and 0.87, Fy is 415, and D here is 1150, and after substituting the values, B here is what we assumed is 400 and D is 1150. After solving this, you will be getting AST as 1288 mm square. For this AST, we shall provide 4 bar of 22 mm diameter. If we provide that, we will be getting a AST of 1520 mm square. So the value which we got is higher than required, hence it is okay. And after providing the bars, let us go for the shear stress. For finding the shear stress, tau V, we already assumed tau C, and now we are finding the tau V, that is Vu by Bd. The shear force is 500 into 10 power 3, B is 400, D is 1150. We got the value of 1.086 Newton per mm square. So this is the shear stress value which is acting on the section. What we have assumed? We have assumed tau C as 1.2, hence tau C is greater than tau V, hence it is okay. And now let us check for this 100 AST by BD. So AST is area of steel we have provided. Let us check for this, and 1520 divided by D here is 1150. We got the value of 0.33 as 100 AST. From this table, for M20 grade concrete, 100 AST by BD is 0.33. Here in this table, you cannot find a value of 0.33. So the 0.33 lies in between 0.25 and 0.50. So you can see that for 0.25 you can take the value of 0.36, and for 0.5 you can take the value of 0.48. But now we need for the value of 0.33. How we can do? Just we can interpolate. How to interpolate? So the difference between these two values, that is 0.25 and 0.5, is 0.25. So for 0.25 equals, so what is this difference? If you subtract 0.36, 0.48 minus 36, you will be getting 0.12. So for which value we need? If you add 0.08 from 0.25, you will get the value of 0.33. That is why, for if I am adding 0.08, what will be the value for this? So if you need x, you can cross multiply and find the x. Here x I got it as 0.0384, and if I add this value with 0.36 plus this value, I am getting 0.4 Newton per mm square. So, referring the table 19, and we got that tau c is 0.4 Newton per mm square. Now, hence the shear reinforcement is required. So, we have to provide stirrups for the beam. Now, for applying these stirrups, in Indian Standard Code you are having the formula for finding the stirrups, that is diameter and spacing. The formula is VUS equals 0.87 Fy ASV, area of steel for vertical stirrups, D by SV. This is spacing of stirrups. Now, let us find VUS, that is shear force. So, what is the shear force? So, total load, that is total shear force is 500 kilonewton, which we have already found out. We are subtracting the shear force which is taken by the concrete. So, how much shear force is taken by the concrete is 0.4, this is tau c, into BD, that is B is breadth and D is depth, divided by 100. So, if you substitute this, you will be getting the balance shear force which has to be taken by the steel. So, 316 is the balance shear force. Now, you got the VUS. So, if you need spacing of stirrups, what you have to do is you have to cross multiply for SV. VU is 316 into 10 power 3. Here we are converting everything in terms of Newton, and 0.87, Fy is 415, and ASV, area of steel. Now, we are assuming 8 mm 4-legged stirrups. Hence, for this assumption, if you find area of the steel, pi 8 square divided by 4, you will be having 50, and we are using 4-legged stirrups, that is why 4 into D here is 1150 divided by the VUS. After substituting, we got the spacing for stirrups as 262 is required. Hence, we have provided 250 mm center to center. So, the spacing should be as close in order to have a safe assumption. Hence, we assume here as 8 mm dia bar 4-legged stirrups at 250 mm center to center in the strap beam. And also, there is a guideline in the IS 456, side face reinforcement, which I will explain with the diagram. Side face reinforcement is essential when a beam exceeds 750 mm. If you are designing any beam, earlier in last semester you would have designed a beam which is lesser than 750 mm. There side face reinforcement would not be essential. In order for high load carrying structures, this section may have more than 750 mm depth. Hence, this kind of section needs side face reinforcement, which will be 0.1% of web area. Here our web area is 400, this is our width, and shall be distributed equally on two faces. That is, you will be having two faces at a spacing not exceeding 300 mm. So, your side face reinforcements should not be more than 300 mm or web thickness, whichever is lesser. Hence, we shall provide a side face reinforcement of AST equal to 1%, that is 1 for converting into a decimal, 1% divided by 100, you will get into a decimal. So, 0.001 of BD. What is B? B is width of the strap beam is 400 and D is effective depth, which is 1150. Now, you need a side face reinforcement of 460 mm square. Okay. For this AST, let us provide 8 number of 10 mm bar. And finally, you can see that now we have designed a strap beam. First, we have designed the reinforcement required at the bottom and top, that is compression and tension. We have designed 4 number of 22 mm dia bar which is provided at top and bottom of the section. Now in between that we are having these two reinforcement called side face reinforcement. Their distance will be 300 mm. So the overall depth is, you can see, 1200 mm and effective depth is 1150. So at a distance of 300 from this and 300 from the earlier reinforcement, we have provided 4 number of 10 mm dia bar which is distributed 1, 2, 3, 4 number of bar, and other 4 bars are here. Totally 8 number of 10 mm dia bar is distributed as side face reinforcement. And also we are having a 4 legged stirrups. Here you can see 1 and 2. There are 2 number of 2 legged stirrups is being provided. So this is the cross section of the design. We had 1500 mm of width of the section, and then we have designed a overall depth of the section as footing section as 300 mm. At the end we have a taper of 200 mm. The bending is higher at this section, so hence at this section we are having 300 mm. And we have designed a strap beam. So this is our complete design. In this longitudinal section you can see 4 number of 8 legged stirrups and the side face reinforcement of 4 number of 10 mm dia, and finally the bottom and top we have designed 4 number of 22 mm dia bars. So this is the design of a combined footing. This is how the design proceeds. For better understanding and design, we need number of practice for designing a section. Request the learners to follow the guideline given here, and if you follow and work it out, by gaining more experience you can become as a excellent design engineer. So designing is a practice, is a skill. Designing is also a skill. So in order to get this designing skill, you need practice. So I hope that this lecture would have given you some knowledge on designing of a combined footing. Happy to meet you again. Thank you.